Hello and welcome to the Agile Hive review for the month of November. I'm Michael Pötz, the product owner for Agile Hive Cloud, and I'm going to present to you today what the team achieved in the last month already. As usual, here are some links that you can share the review document with your colleagues, or you can add it to your calendar if you want to follow the links and have it imported in your calendar. You can also follow us on LinkedIn and also on YouTube, because this video, as you see, is being recorded and we're going to upload it afterwards on our YouTube channel. The next review will be on December 4th, and up until then, we'll start with some general updates around about Agile Hive. First of all, as an internal note, my colleague Yannick and I, we were attending the RTE Summit in Veldhoven in the Netherlands, hosted by Gladwell at the SML factory. We were able to talk to some customers of ours and also demo Agile Hive to a few new prospects. We sponsored the event, but we were also able to attend some of the talks and also attend a little tour in the ASML production factory, which was really interesting for us. As usual, we also published a new blog post on our blog about driving lean portfolio management with Agile Hive. If you're interested, check it out. Sounded weird. As usual, the note to you, we know that Agile Hive or testing Agile Hive can take a while, take some time. And the 30-day period that Atlassian grants you might not be enough. So in case you are running out of time with your evaluation, contact us and we will continue your evaluation period. We can do that up until 90 days. That gives you plenty of time to check out the app and its functionality. Right, coming up to the product updates. We have actually released 7 new versions during the last month, so since the last review. Most of them were actually hotfixes and improvements aimed at the rate limit problem. The regular schedule for us is to release 1 new version every Tuesday, so that should have amounted to 4, but as you see, we were a bit busier this time. So what have we released in the meantime? First of all, we released kind of as a preparation for the solution train reports, we released several new widgets for the reports, the velocity widget, the load versus cap widget, and also the dependency overview for the reports. You might know them already from the existing reports, but I'm going to give a little sneak peek in the further slides. Then we were talking about improving the issue with the rate limits that Atlassian poses to us right now. We introduced a user pooling so that you can share the load on the API and thus limit the possibility for rate limits with the app user, as well as checking permissions to the My Organization part that builds up the navigation and stuff as the acting user instead of as the app. That should also reduce the rate limits. We removed custom fields that were not in use as of yet, because the background calculation for them also added to the amount of API requests and thus possibility for rate limits. Yeah. And also we implemented 2 bug fixes not related to the rate limits. We fixed the bug with sprint creation when you created a new PI, which had a name that was too long. I think the limit was 10 characters right now. We reduced it to 9 because the additional 1 character might lead to sprint names being longer than Jira allowed them to be. And when the sprint name was too long, the sprint could not be created and thus could not be attached to the PI, and sprint creation failed. And one other minor bug, we changed the color for an icon in the My Organization when you wanted to detach a project from its parent. Wrong. Click there. So as promised, Here a little sneak peek at the widgets for the solution train reports that we implemented, but are not yet visible to you, to the customer, because we want to address this rate limit issues first before making the solution train reports public. The first one I wanted to talk about is the dependencies widget. Here you can see, as on the art report, on the team report, that we will list all the dependencies that are within the respective branch of the organization, down from portfolio up until team, and that are linked to the current PI you are viewing. And as we're on solution train, issues from the solution train have to be part of the dependency. So you can see here, we have critical dependencies, we have dependencies at risk that might be ready at the same time. Critical dependencies, the dependent issue might be finished after the issue, depending on it, and also healthy dependencies, of course, dependencies that, where the order of finalization is in correct order. Keep that critical dependency here in mind, because we also released these, let's call them top bar widgets. And here you also have the dependency overview, and we can see all the critical dependencies for the selected PI on a short glance. You can see that we have one critical dependency, as shown in the widget before, that is instantly visible that you have a dependency that you have to take care of. As well as the load versus cap widget, you always also know from previous reports, and the velocity widgets. Or velocity widget, it's a singular. Not a sneak peek, and also directly visible to you, is the new user account pool that we introduced in the Agile Hive administration. That's in the general administration, and under marketplace apps, you can find the app specific administrations, and there you can see the Agile Hive administration. And there we added a new tab named API settings. And there you can select users that act on behalf of, on behalf of the app, to limit the rate limits that the singular app user ran into the past. So here you can add, or you can select users from your user pool and add them from your general user pool and add them to the Agile Hive user pool. And then the app will randomly choose one of the users to do. Oh, I can also read my text here. Sorry, just blanked. Technical issues. The app will choose one of the users that you select here randomly and make operations on behalf of the app, like reading issues or writing values in custom fields randomly with one of the users you select here. And before, it has all been done by a single app user, and thus the amount of operations might run into the rate limits. And now, by randomizing the app requests between different users, we lowered the possibility for rate limits in the app. And also, this frees the app user for operations that can only be done by the app user, like writing specific custom field values. The issue with the rate limits also led to an adaptation of our roadmap. Previously, we had different items on the roadmap, like the external dependencies here. You can see down here. Do you even see it? No, you can see. Down here. We moved this into the next PI because as we are constantly working on the rate limit problems right now, we didn't have any capacity to start working on these, so we moved them to the next PI. We, as I mentioned, are working on the solution train reports. We now have released all the widgets that are needed for the reports to work. And now in the coming month, or in the current month, we are working on making it public so that you can actually use the solution train reports. When this will happen in the month, I cannot really tell you, because we have to see what the improvements that we are implementing to work with the rate limits, actually, if they actually benefit from that. And the solution train reports might pose the risk that they actually increase the problem with the rate limits again. So we have to keep that in check. So the other issues we already started working on are all concerning the extended filtering in the Agile Hive boards, so that you don't have to enter your JQL filters in our views manually, but you can select from pre-selected values to filter down your or our views. All right, that concludes the product updates. The next review, as I mentioned in the beginning, will be on the 4th of December. Again, if you want to keep up to date to that, add an invitation to your calendar, an ICS file that you can add to your calendar following this link here. This concludes our review for today, and I hope I'll see you again on the December 4th. Bye-bye.